right, thank you so much for coming.
Hello, all. I have prepared something, but I'm just going to talk to you guys. I'm going to let my homeboy right here hold my phone and my iPad. Listen, it's an honor to come before you. I want to thank Mr. Neal for giving me an opportunity to come here. The way I became a barber was when I was 13 years old. I was walking down the street and there was a pair of clippers in a garbage can. And the clipper was sitting on the garbage, and the cord on the clipper was spliced. And so I wasn't interested in the clipper per se, but I was interested in the fact that the cord was spliced, and I had seen my father repair items by putting the cord back together. So I took the clipper out of the garbage, and I wanted to fix the cord. So I put the cord together, got some black tape, did everything that I saw my father do when he brought something that he found somewhere. And you know, I plugged it in, it was vibrating, making a noise, but the blade didn't move. So I don't know if you guys know what lard is, but lard is, you know, old grease. And so I took lard and I wiped it on the blade, and the blade didn't move. Then my mother called me, and so I forgot to turn the clipper off, and the clipper just stayed in the bathroom. It got hot, and you know what happens to lard when it gets hot. You know, it lubricated the blade, and the blade, I heard all this noise. My mother said, "What's that banging in the bathroom?" And so, you know, I'm like going, like, I don't know. And so then my father, leave her, where are they? What's the wild one in the bathroom? And so I go to the bathroom and I look, and I see this clipper jumping around. I'm like, oh, shoot. Then I'm like, oh, man, it's working. So I was really excited. And, you know, so I was eager to see if it worked. And so I was going to tell my dad, hey, look and see what I've done. But then I said, I'm going to test it first. And I stuck it in my head. And it cut out a whole piece of hair. And I was like, oh, shoot. You know, and we didn't get a lot of haircuts because I have 7 brothers. And, you know, we very rarely went to the barber shop. We went to my Uncle Charles, who he cut best, and he had a half pint of liquor. And so he wasn't really a barber, he just had clippers. And so what I did was I shaved all my hair off. And, you know, I shaved my hair off and I looked terrible. And then freshman year, I went to Prince Tech. And in going to Prince Tech, my father said that I needed to go into electrical, because he said electrical, you're gonna make a whole heap of money and you're gonna turn big old money. So I said, all right. But when I lived in Barnesville, we know to make some money. So I went into electrical. I wasn't the best kid. I wasn't the best student. Smart, yes. I was good in math, English, right? I could do all of those things. But because I would always finish my work, I would always interrupt the instructors. You know, I was always doing something, always in the office. Every time, leave, go to the office, leave. Because in math class, Mr. Mason, he passed away last year. My math teacher in high school at Prince Tech, he used to tell me all the time he was going to call my parents because I never listened. You know, I would finish the algebra, and because I was done, I would interrupt the students who were trying to do the necessary things. And so, like, I see a lot of you guys here, you guys are constantly talking, like some of you are still talking. And the thing is, you guys have to look at where you are in your life right now. You have a lot of people in your corner that are looking to make things go better for you. I mean, you have Mr. Neal, you have all these instructors who are committing themselves to you. And I didn't see those things back then. So when I did get into electrical, again, I was my same usual self. And they kicked me out of electrical. And so they kicked me out of electrical with the understanding that we're going to go, and I'm going to tell you, the reason why they kicked me out of electrical, a kid and I had an argument, and my fist happened to fall on his mouth. And his mouth started bleeding, and that was my excuse. And see how stupid that sounds to y'all? Because I know a lot of you may think to do things like that. You don't want to do that. Keep your hands to yourself. Treat people how you want to be treated. But in them kicking me out of electrical, they made me wait in the barber shop until they found a shop that was willing to accept me. And so over the course of time, I wound up graduating with a barber license. And I remember Mr. DeAngelis, you know, he was always honest about, you know, learn to cut everybody, because I only wanted to cut my friends. He said, learn to cut women, learn to cut Caucasian hair, black hair, any hair, learn to cut dog hair. Because he said, as long as you have clippers, you can always make money. So, you know, I graduated with the license, and all of my friends had jobs waiting for them. And nobody wanted me as a barber. And I was like, man, we was in this dumb shop. This whole program was stupid. I wasted my life, you know, What am I going to do?
Home again. It's so good to be home again. Well, you don't have to share a tear. Feels so good to be.
Listen, he was showing me his report card. Pull that report card up. Now, I'm looking at this. I mean, look at these grades. F, D plus, F, C, F, 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 B, F, F. I mean, Mr. Neal. Now, in the barbershop, when you say, Curtis, what? And you talk about how tough Curtis was. And I mean, Curtis, my man, I would never have anticipated that these would be his grades.
Well, I can tell you, when I had him, I didn't know the grades looked like that overall because he was such a bright guy in class. He was so smart. That was the struggle. He's smart, but he wasn't interested in what I was doing. You know what I mean? He's very smart. I didn't know they were like that. You know what I mean? I just knew that this guy who in a class could take you off the lesson, but with something that was generally connected in one way or another, but he'll disrupt the class, and he had a whole different way of thinking.
Yeah, well, my thing is, he and I in the barbershop, we're always doing something. And he and I, we think alike with a lot of stuff. And when you told me how bad of a student he was, I said to him, I said, man, Mr. Neal told me that you was the one, you know, that used to drive him crazy. They're talking to him.
Used to make me sick. I would eat my lunch. I had him for the 5th period. Was U.S. history.
Yeah.
And I would have lunch from 12, whatever it was, 12:30 to 1, quarter, 5 or 1, and I would get sick because I knew that I had to go to this class in Curtis Booker. I remember where you sat and everything.
I know, I knew me too.
Okay. And he would have to have a lesson planned around him. Now there were days. If you clicked into something he was interested in, he'd work with it. But if you want to talk about some history of 300-400 years ago and you weren't making it relevant,
I was in a different way at that time. I think, for me, for the most part, it was one of those things where, I wanted to do my thing. It's like I was trying to tell the students today. I get where you're going. I get it. I sat in those seats and you couldn't tell me nothing. And I was that linear thinker. I couldn't see the global picture. I was strictly in a straight line. Whatever was in front of me, that's the way I thought. And so that's what I dealt with. So when Mr. Neal came in, Mr. Neal became more of an interference in my program. So that's why he and I butted heads, because I didn't know at the time, I couldn't comprehend that this guy genuinely cared about me. So, and even the teachers back then, that's why when you see these F's, I use this as a powerful speaking point, because it goes to show that anybody, if given the opportunity, take advantage of it, you can become something or somebody. A lot of times when I go to speak to people, speaking engagements, people think that I don't understand their struggles. But listen, I'm like, listen, man, I was there. I understand exactly what you're talking about.
When I saw those grades today, I mean, that took us to a whole nother wavelength, because I always look at you and I said, okay, we're both intelligent guys. But to see that you came from that, I'm looking at the grades. I mean, because, at my house, dude, they'd kill you if you came in there with those grades. My father didn't read and write, and their thing was, they wanted us to learn as much as we possibly could. And then when we talk about all the young men that we're trying to help who want to become officers, right? And I'm telling you, that you're the role model. This is my buddy. He's gonna look out for you. Talk to him, and you talk to those young guys about how they can maneuver themselves to become community servant agents and so forth. And I'm looking at these grades. I'm like, how in the hell did you go from this to that? And so, when I graduated, I said I'm gonna go to college. I'm off to Morehouse College, and my mother, she tucked my clippers under the bottom of my things in my bag, because I said, I'm not going to be no barber. I didn't want to be no barber. I was in that stupid program because they forced me. Not realizing that in the beginning, divine intervention, when that clipper was in the garbage and the cord was detached, early at 13 that that was my destiny, that I had been placed in a position to be successful. And so when I tried to run from that destiny, I got upset with a kid, punched him in the mouth, got kicked out of the program that my father wanted me to be in, because that was not what I was designed to be. Because destiny had it such that I wound up in barbering inadvertently because a situation that I couldn't control. And so I found myself in the barbershop with a barber license. I went to college. I graduated from Morehouse. And I'm prepared. I'm about to go to medical school. I don't want to be a doctor. I don't even like blood. But you know, I was good in the lab, did well in chemistry and all of these things, did really well. But the whole time, I wanted to go to Black College Week in Miami. And I had no money. And so I called my father. See, Jamaicans, no disrespect to anybody, but I'm one of those. Jamaicans, they rough. They believe in the belt, and they will put pressure on them. So I'm calling my father and my mother. I said, I need some money. We're going to Black College Week. And he told me, so where y'all got on that so far? I said, this is supposed to keep a dance. And so y'all tried all the way out in Miami, got down. Your mother? I said, no. I said, I need like $40. And he said, you still need $40. So I said, okay. And so I talked to my mother. So my mother said, where are your clippers? I said, I got them. You know, only hair I was cutting was mine. And every time somebody would ask me to cut their hair, I would say no. Everybody on campus, oh man, who cut you? And unfortunately, I apologize. I have no haircut today. I know I look like Grady from Sanford and Son.
When people see these grades, you know, there's no hope, you would think. Yeah. There's no hope for an individual with this kind of performance in school. You know, so people lose sight, they lose faith. And then what happens is you take this, because this represents to me the bottom of the barrel. This is about as bad as it can get. When you fail piano, you fail piano. I mean, nobody failed. That's just hitting some keys, man. Nobody should fail piano. But when you fail that miserably, you would think that most people would give up. And I gave up. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was done because I dropped out right after this. I dropped out of school and I went and got a GED. You know, but it was because, you know, that year, 1983 other people that I knew were getting murdered. You know, that's what turned me around. But most people would be ashamed of these grades. Would be ashamed. They wouldn't even want you to even pull them out. But I told you, I want you to use those up because this is what I use. I've been a Weaver before, you know, and I always come out with this because I want people to see this is who I am. You know, today who you were. Well, that's who I was. But I have no shame in showing you this because I want you to learn from this. I don't want you to be here. So, like I say, use that as a tool. Right?
And then, in addition to this, when you look at his rating, he's ranked 235 out of 353. So meaning there are 118 people that are worse than him. Look at this. I mean, to me, you should have been at the bottom. And you know, to look at book and say, wow, this is where you've come from, and this is the reason why we have to let the kids know and our people know that you can turn anything around.
Yeah.
You understand? You can turn it, just like I said, we started with nothing. We came with nothing. And we started with nothing. And you can get something, you can achieve something. And the thing is, Ms. Neal, you see the role that you played in lives. I mean, think about these kids that you have to struggle, fight with at parents and with parents and all of those things. I mean, what you're doing here is going to change the lives of these children. And I think that we need to partner, Book, myself, with you, and put together something where at least once a month, if it's 90 minutes, where we try to see, because right now, how many kids do you have that are in the same book?
I've got quite a few of them. I studied all of the data on each one of these kids. I know what every one of them should be or are.
Right. So this here is a death sentence when you're looking at the data. But this is showing you can go from here to here.
That's right.
And this is the bridge that we have to build to these children so that they see that tomorrow can be brighter than today. Even though.
But, you know, after graduating from Morehouse, studying for the MCAT, I'm laying in the bed. So my father said, you can't just lay around here. You have to do something. So he gets me a job at his boy from Jamaica barbershop. So I go down to Jack's barbershop, and I sat in the barbershop. I said, I ain't cutting nobody's hair. And I'm in the barbershop. I'm defying everything that everyone's trying to do to help me. So I go to Jack. So I'm sitting in there because he said that's the only way I can stay in the house. Because he said, you're not going to lay in the bed all day and do nothing. You got to get a job. So I'm in the barbershop, and I start cutting my friends. And then, you know, I've always been an entrepreneur because as a kid, I always found a way to make money. Because we used to shovel snow, we used to rake leaves, we used to walk dogs, anything to make money. Because my brother here from 20 Love, see, I remember those brothers. See, the 20 Love brothers, when they were doing what they were doing, I was cutting hair. I was the $2 barber. I used to hustle with the clippers. I used to cut hair for $2 between Stowe Village, Nelton Court, and Bellevue Square. Because that was my area. And sometime I would sneak and go down to Cleveland Avenue. But my parents didn't want me to go past Hampton. So, you know, I was the $2 barber. And then I realized in the barbershop that they were paying $10 for a haircut. So I would start telling kids, hey, when you get your haircut, right, don't go to the barbershop. Come to me, you keep $5 and give me $5. And guess what? People constantly banging on the door. Weaver, who that? Come out the door. Come on. I'm like, Dad, they want haircuts. And you look, I got 20 kids lined up behind, and I'm still running from this. I'm going to college, but every time I make money, I go and I cut hair. I go and I cut hair. I go and I cut hair. But at 24, I opened It's a G Thing. And when I said I opened It's a G Thing, it was myself, this brother Hassan, this brother Will, and my brother-in-law. When I tell you, in the first 6 months, I saved all of the money that I made other than saving bills. And then now, here comes this old Jamaican man talking junk, telling me to do all these things. That you gotta go, you gotta do this. I said, you know what, I'm not gonna listen to him no more. And I jumped up, I went and bought a condo, and I opened my business. And then from that point on, I moved on. I began to realize that you guys have that same destiny that I have. I mean, seriously, what you guys have to think about, if you guys want to be successful, this is America. Look how many young billionaires you have in the world now. No one has the opportunity that we have here in America. And don't let anybody tell you because of your skin color or any of those things that you can't do anything. Because the place that I have now is a 15,000 square foot building. When I moved from the place where I was renting, I wrote a business plan. And on those same things, I go around and people want to know, hey, how did you do that? And people pay me to listen to how I did it. You know what? I never tell them. I talk about everything except how I wrote the paper to get the money. Now, that you want to know, you need to come sit down with me and pay me some real money. But you can do it. You guys are young. You guys are innovative. The whole world is following you guys. Everything that you guys do. How many times do y'all watch something on television that you guys were doing 5 years ago? How many times do you guys do that? I mean, we lead everybody. Everybody is watching what we do. But what you guys have to learn is the monetization of self. How do you make money? How do you get paid? Who wants money in here? Put your hand up if you want money. Because seriously, what we have to realize, if you want to be successful, you got to travel with people that are going in the direction that you're going. Because if I'm going to Boston and you're going to New York, we can't ride together. So you have to decide as a young youth that your time is very valuable. Where do you want to be tomorrow? How are you going to get there? What plans are you making to be successful? What teachers, what professors, what individuals can you surround yourself that can help you to reach your destiny? You have to be willing to get rid of friends who are not traveling where you're going. Because if I'm going to Boston and you're going to New York and you ride with me, not only are you going to lose the 2 hours going to Boston, but now it's going to take you 4 hours to get to New York. So it's going to take you 6 hours to reach your destiny. And you sitting here talking, you sitting here not paying attention, it's changing your journey from 2 hours to 6 hours. And in between that time of 2 hours and 6 hours, do you know what can happen in your life? You guys have to want to succeed. You must want to be successful. You must be willing to absorb information when someone comes before you and is willing to impart wisdom on you to try to make things better for you.
barbershop. Everybody said that the barbershop was gonna fail, but I told dudes, I said, yo, we just gotta grind. I got a team of young guys, young barbers, and what we did, we made 10,000 flyers every month. And what we would do, we would go to all the houses, put one in the mailboxes, which you're not supposed to do legally, but we would put them in the mailboxes, we put them on all the cars at the church. We got it to the point where we were doing 1,400 people a week through It's a G Day. A condo in Kissimmee, or Kissimmee, Florida, how do you pronounce it? My wife and I, we argue, who cares? But we have it, and so there's a place called Gatorland. So down in Gatorland, they got an issue with alligators. They're burning the gator skins, and the people are getting all upset, and people outside protesting, oh, they're burning the environment, blah, 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 because of the skins from the gators. So I see the guy, so my wife is talking about, all you ever think about is trying to make money. I said, baby, listen, I have no one paying me. I'm an entrepreneur. So I see the guy who has the gator skins. Now this is an older guy, you know, they just want to killing the alligators, selling the gator meat, and so they got too many skins, so they're burning them. I have a guy in Italy who, he makes shoes because I'm in the process of doing my own shoe and clothing line. And so my guy in Italy, I tell him, I said, you know what? I can get you exotic skins for some money. So I tell the guy in Florida, if you can get the skins to Miami Port, I'll get rid of them for you, but you gotta pay me to get rid of them. So he said, we can stop all of this stuff, I'll do it. So he's paying me now to bring the skins to the port, giving me money, and now the guy from Italy is getting somebody to the port to get the skins, and they both paying me. So every time he got skins, he give me money. Every time he come get the skins, he give me, I ain't doing nothing. And all I did, I was walking around there and watching the people protesting. My wife, why are you standing here? You're always getting in people's business. We don't want to get involved in that stuff. I said, no, I'm trying to solve the situation. Because what I tell people, the thing about opportunity presents itself. Whenever opportunity is knocking, it's work that answers the door. And so you have to understand that opportunity was there, but it takes work to make it happen. So you're not going to just get it from doing anything. You've got to work. And the thing is, once you're willing to work, you can take advantage of opportunity. And being an entrepreneur, once you focus your mind and monetization of self, you always see ways to make money. I'm walking around here seeing ways to make money. I'm looking here, I said, man, we can make a lot of money here. But is this the place to make money? Yes, what I got to do, I got to put the plan together, and I got to get the plan in the right hands. And guess what? Now money's being made. Because I'm a businessman. And like you all are in this entrepreneur. What is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is somebody that's making money on their own. Making money so that they can sustain themselves.
Home again. It's so good to be again. Well, you don't have to share a tear. Feels so good to be here.
Mr. Lester, I really want to thank you for your good work today. I've seen you over the years working with kids, interning them in and out of your area of business, and you've always reached out and done the outreach. I want to thank you for coming over here today because our kids need role models, positive people just like you. You make a difference.
I used to watch the kids' reaction when you would come into the salon and they would just talk about, you know, Mr. Neal, and I would just hear the various stories about Mr. Neal, and the thing is, but I was always, you know, reinforced to them and reassure them that, hey, Mr. Neal care about you. And a lot of them would say, yeah, he the only one, man. And, you know, the broken homes and just the struggles that they went through and just the role that you played in the lives of the children in the community. And you coming from Virginia, you know, my boy Booker, man, just the stories of him talking about Mr. Neal and just how you helped to mold and shape him and bring him to success. And just, you know, when we think about Vidal and how, you know, when I look at him today, how I'm so proud of him when I see him as he grows.
Home again. It's so good to be again. Well, you don't have to share a tear.